and avarice of those who have thought only of their own profit. There are some dark pages in the history of the white man's dealings with the Indians, and many parts of the record are stained with the greed and avarice of those who have thought only of their own profit.
Wake up!
Yo, 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 BM. Hello,
Hey,
guys.
hello.
How are you?
Doing swell. I mean, quite a past couple days, huh?
Yeah, intense days. Yeah. Welcome to another stream. We will have our Mibera reveal stream 4, and the reveal 4 is already live, so you can check your Mibera. And today, Jenny won't join us, but instead we will have Gummy, the artist behind Mibera. So I'm very excited to talk with her. I didn't have the pleasure to talk with her before, so I'm very excited. I have a lot of questions. Very interested in Gummy, and I'm interested to see how did she came to Mibera and what was her experience. And yeah, very, very excited for today. So hi guys, hi Eileen, hi Mix, hi Dan. How are you doing?
Hey Mokus, happy to be here. Another exciting reveal. I think I haven't had the privilege either of being on a space with Gumi. Is this her first? I know it's her first reveal, but it might be one of her first spaces ever, and I'm not sure. But has she? I haven't seen her in some time.
I think so. She's mysterious. It's a she, right? I don't even know. It's embarrassing,
Gumi is a girl.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm very excited to have her here today. So it's the premiere for her. Yeah, a lot of topics where we can talk about. So Anya is also here.
Hello.
Hello, Anya. How are you?
I'm good. Chilling
as always.
Chilling.
Yeah, so maybe before we start, so we are waiting for Gummy, and then we can touch on Mibera. But maybe because it's very actual, this topic, we are on Berachain and Boyko is happening now. So how are you guys feeling about Boyko, and how do you feel about the FUD? What are you doing now? Are you a bit worried? How do you feel?
I'm frustrated.
I got a
you
lot to say on this one. I got a lot to say on this
Yes,
one.
please. I
Go
want
ahead.
to hear all your opinions.
I'm not sure about how much I'm going to share on a recorded space.
Be honest.
No, but for me, it's going very well. My expectations were filled with just about exactly what I was thinking in terms of rewards. Watching, literally as we're on this stream, I have 4 different things up. I was able to claim all the rewards from all the vaults pretty successfully. Obviously, quite a bit of drama going on with the pre-vaults and their communication style in terms of when it actually will be released. That's ongoing. I am impacted by that. I'm not very impressed with a couple of those teams, that's for sure. But I do want to give them an opportunity to see how they handle it. So my preliminary thoughts, a couple I would give an A to. I would give an A to Dolomite. I would give an A to Solve. I thought that their mechanisms were spot on. Kodiak and Infrared had a couple small hiccups, but with the front end issue, if you're not familiar with that, they had a small front end issue with the unwrapping, but they solved it very quickly. And most importantly, their customer service and their communication was spot on. So I would give them
Oh, you were now cutting out.
That's what he's giving him.
that's the fathers who are now attacking us, not to speak about it. I can't hear Mix. So yeah, that's a valid point. And I didn't really participate in Boyko, to be honest. I had deposited in the pre-vault, but I already took it out. So it was a Stone ETH, and Stone had also his TGE, and you were able to swap it, Stone ETH, for the main ETH. So I did that. I think I lost maybe 6 or 7%. I'm swapping it, but I didn't really care. So and it wasn't that much. So I'm not that touched by that. Maybe my opinion or my experience is that I'm quite resilient to the FOD and to the price action. I thought I would be more depressed or more sad about the price action, but it for me it didn't move the needle. So I'm still optimistic about Berachain. I'm still here. I don't really care about the price action in the short term, and I expected this FUD and these discussions on the timeline. So, what will happen to Berachain? There is this airdrop. The total value locked will be unlocked. So a lot of funds will be bridged out, and yeah, we will see. But after that, in 1 week or 2, I think there is no reason to have negative news, and all the fodders will be out. All the impatient, the paper hands will be out. So yeah, this needs to happen because it was designed by that. It needs like a reborn. So it's in 1 week we will have a new Berachain and a new community. So we have here our guest. Zerguchi is also here, and Gummy. Welcome, guys, to the stage. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, nice to have you here. Welcome to the stream. So it's the first time, Gummy and Zerguchi. You, if I mistaken, then you can correct me, please. But you are the one who is you are the dev, so you are looking after the right things to be revealed, and you are the magician behind the Mibera. Is that true?
Yeah. So I'm the person who's developed, like, we're done all the generation for all the reveal stages of the art, and worked with Gumi for the past year, just about, or maybe even longer at this point, just kind of putting together all the different builds and special characters and special systems that have gone into the Mibera collection. And then
Okay, nice. Maybe we can, before we go to the art and before we go to the reveal, we can maybe touch on this swag score, which happened last week, and there was some confusion about it. Maybe we can touch on that. But first, hello, Gumi. Happy to have you here. I haven't had the pleasure to talk with you before. I think it's your first time in a stream or on a Twitter space. So welcome, and happy to have you here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here. I haven't watched too many of these streams, so sorry if I don't really have much to contribute that is like the normal fodder you talk about, but I'm very happy to be here. And yeah, it's the first time I've been on a recorded call or anything. So yeah, this is fun.
No problem. You have a lovely voice. So yeah, maybe before we touch on the Mibera and the art, I have a lot of questions to Gumi. But maybe Zerguchi, first of all, what's this swag score and what happened last week?
So the swag score initially was, I think, Gumi's idea, maybe her and Janny. But the goal of it was to create a numerical representation of how swag each Mibera is. And swag is kind of a relative term to whoever's looking at it. But the idea was, some Mibera that's wearing an outfit that's really out there, or might be hard to pull off or put things together well, would have a higher swag score than one wearing, like, I don't know, let's say like a simple shirt with no design on it, no hat or anything. So early on, we had thought, okay, we should have the drug contribute to the swag score, we should have the shirt contribute to the swag score, and then the item that they're holding. And that's kind of what we released publicly initially. But as we iterated on the Mibera build process, we realized that the scores just using those three layers or those three trait categories weren't really that representative of the actual visual swag of each of the Miberas that we were looking at. Like, some of them were just having super high swag scores, but pretty plain, or some of the other Miberas were really low when it came to swag scoring, but they had a bunch of drip on, and we're just like, we'd look at it and be like, that's beautiful. Like, this is a great piece. It should have a much higher swag score. So in light of that, we decided to add other layers to contribute to the swag score. So we realized that things like glasses and hats and face accessories, as well as masks, all had a pretty strong contribution to the true swag score of the Miberas. Like, when people look at it and be like, oh, that one's sick, versus, oh, this is pretty plain. So we decided to add those into the swag scoring formula. And we did it in a way that didn't really like rug or mess up people who had been doing the calculations based off of the previously publicly stated formula. That is still the biggest contribution to the overall swag, but we now are adding in the swag scores of those other traits that I mentioned, right? Yeah, so there's the updated formula right there. We kind of just played with how we wanted to do that, and played with the different numbers, and then looked at the swag score of each one, and came up with that formula. Another thing that is pretty relevant to the swag scoring is the way that we determined the swag of each one of the layers. So me and Gumi and Janny and a couple other team members actually went through about, I think it was like 700, maybe 800 individual layer files, and all recorded what we wanted the swag, or what we thought the swag of that layer file was, on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being really not swag and 5 being very swag. So after we had done all of that, it was just a matter of throwing that into the names of each one of the files on my end. And then when I did the metadata generation, we had the swag scores of each of the items that, or each of the layers for each Mibera. And then we run it through that formula to get the total swag score. And then we run it through the ranking system, which you can see below, where it's the top 100 highest swag scores in the entire collection get the triple S, and then the 250 after that get a double S, and so on down to the F at 650.
Yeah, so I have a couple of follow-up questions here. So first of all, what do you think, how many people were really affected by that? So I think there are some geeks, some nerds who were looking prior to that to the swag score, and maybe they were buying with premium on secondary. But I think the majority wasn't even aware of the existence of the swag score. So how did you feel that on the timeline? So have you seen a lot of people who were affected by that, or was that a minority?
So we saw that there was some people that had been going really hard trying to predict the swag scores of each the Miberas and then buying them at a premium, like you mentioned. And that's why when we were running through this formula, we saw that had happened, and decided to re-include the molecule/drug score, because initially when we had taken that out, because that doesn't really contribute to the overall swag of the Mibera. It's kind of just the molecule up in the top left corner, as you can see in the current reveal stages. But after seeing how many people had kind of been basing purchases off of the previously released swag score, we decided to add that back. And honestly, if you look at the math, like the other pieces, right, the newly added layers are just additions, while the first 3 and the 3 that we released all multiply against each other. So those will create the swag scores with, or the Miberas with the highest swag scores. Really, those first 3, the item score, shirt score, and molecule score, are the big determining factor. But what these new layers do is kind of create the final decision for those higher or lower swag scores by adding a bit more variety into them.
Yeah,
so
I understand it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So these were the first one which were revealed, so they have a higher weight in the total swag score.
Yeah.
So those who bought for premium, they're maybe a bit affected, but not that much affected.
Yeah, that was the goal. We didn't really want to rug them, and we wanted to make sure that the sort of effort and overall analysis of the collection that they have done was not getting rugged. So
okay, now my next question: for what is swag score for? Is that only something nice to have, or are there any alpha or any plans with it?
So
there is something alpha, you don't have to say it, but you can hint if there's something more to it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if we've publicly said this or not, but I will say that there is swag score has some correlation with rarity. I'm not going to say exactly what it is because it's not just linear, but there definitely is a sort of correlation between a Mibera's overall swag score and how rare it is in the collection. So that wasn't really the goal of swag scoring. Like I said initially, the idea was to sort of just create like a numerical representation of how swag the Mibera looked. It was like kind of just based off the visual appeal of each Mibera. But in our generation, we did some stuff that is going to have the swag scoring affect rarity. I won't say too much more on it unless one of the other team members here informs me that we have kind of released how we did that, but I'm not sure. I kind of am pretty head down and just building all the time. I'm not on Twitter that much. But yeah, I think I'll leave it at that for now.
That's
correlation, but it's not going to be what everybody thinks.
Okay, so we will leave it by that. So yeah, thank you. And maybe for those who didn't see, the swag score is not the same, which is the rarity score on Magic Eden or OpenSea. They use something different. They have their own metrics, and it's messed up with the revealed, unrevealed ones. So don't rely on Magic Eden and on OpenSea rarities. That's something different from the actual swag score. Yeah. So yeah, maybe we can move on and look at our Miberas. I will share the other screen. In this phase, we've got revealed the overlay of the moon and the hat, and the third one was the eyebrows. So yeah, not that much, but another layer. So yeah, maybe Gumi, I want you to ask so much things, but maybe we start from the beginning. How did you join Mibera? So there is an article, there is a lore, there are some tweets that the Charlotte Fang suggested you, recommended you, and yeah, what happened after that?
Oh gosh. Okay, so if we're starting at that point when Charlotte recommended me, it was pretty fast moving in that I just got through in a group chat with some of the early Mibera team, and we just started iterating on the art from there. And I don't feel like that's too interesting of a story to tell, simply because it was just a few months of like working on something that we ended up not using. As some of you may have seen the thread that I posted a while back of like the really early Mibera iterations of just looking nothing like Mibera does right now. And it was only in August 2023 that we started taking shape as we are now because of Janny coming in. But I do want to say briefly that Charlotte recommended me because she found out about me because I drew the Milady MFers deriv. And that was kind of like one of the first Milady derivatives back in like 2022. And that's just how I got my start in this space as Gumi.
Okay, nice. And yeah, maybe the follow-up question. So you are now a member of Honey Jar, right?
Right.
So you are only working on Mibera, or you do other stuff too?
I do a lot of other stuff. Mibera, I don't want to say is my main focus because I have a lot of other things that I consider my main focus. But when I started working on Mibera in late 2023, I wasn't a part of THJ, and it was like my main thing. But in May of 2024, I got brought into THJ, and that's when I started really working on a lot of other stuff. But Mibera has kind of actually become my main focus again the past month, as I've been working on the 1/1 art for the collection. So it's been
kind of
nice being able to.
They're mind-blowing.
Oh,
so
thank you. I don't know how much y'all have seen because I've like been off of Twitter the past several weeks trying to just focus on it. So I've been able to see some of it.
Yeah, you didn't see the streams. I think it was on the first or the second one where Jenny showed us some sneak peeks. I think 5 or 6 with the moon one, with the sun, and yeah, they were amazing. Very, very nice. So very excited for that.
Got a bunch of them in the works, so I'm very excited to be able to see this through. It feels like such a little bit of a task, more than I initially anticipated, but it feels right to like end this project with a bang like that.
Yeah, and so maybe it's a dumb question, but what does Mibera mean for you? How do you see Mibera?
Oh gosh. Firstly, there's no such thing as a dumb question, and that is most definitely not a dumb question. But Mibera is like quite a lot for me. A lot of the people who know Gumi and were present for her early Twitter presence know that Gumi was actually homeless beginning of 2023. And Mibera is the first project that I started working on in that period of time that eventually led to me getting back on my feet, having a proper roof over my head again and whatnot. So in a lot of ways, it means a lot to me from the perspective that I associate it heavily with just like security and stability.
Oh man, that's another layer. How, yeah, deeply and intensive Mibera is, and yeah, we're happy to have you. How did you join crypto? And you were in the Milady community first.
Yeah. I was on CT under a different name for a decent while before I created Gumi. And the Milady community caught my eye late 2021. And that's when I started ideating what my next persona would be. So I had a bit of a presence on Telegram prior to joining Twitter as Gumi in 2022. Or no, I joined actually as the Milady Efforts account first. Right. And I sort of just got to know everyone in the early like peak Milady Deriv days when the community hadn't really come up with that many derivs yet. There was a period of time in the Milady community, believe it or not, where no one had any derivs going. And that's kind of funny seeing how that's all evolved. But yeah, that's how I kind of got my start there, just working on some early derivs. And there's another deriv that I created shortly after Milady MFers that no one has been able to link to me yet. And I'm very curious to see if anyone ever will, because I certainly haven't done much to hide it.
Another treasure hunt.
So, yeah, there are a few hints out there for those with eyes to see. But yeah,
nice.
Sorry, that was kind of a long-winded answer because I feel like there's a lot to cover there. But a lot of my experience in the crypto space really has been within the Milady community so far.
Yeah. And the Mibera lore, so all the stories, all the lore, the articles, the Mibera is outstanding because you have a lot of NFTs. Maybe Milady has that. Yeah, they have lore, they have traits, they have also a lot of story to share. But I think Mibera is way deeper and more brighter. So you have more topics, you have more lore, you have more depth. And how much involved were you in those lores and stories? So how much you feel and share the Mibera spirit?
Well, quite a lot, I think. I remember when Janny a very long time ago showed me some of the initial lore he wrote, and I was like, yep, this guy gets it. And it made it much easier for me to really dive in. Because prior to a lot of that, actually, I hadn't really talked much about myself to Janny. And because, I used to operate under Gumi as very just like, closed off. I just draw. I don't really talk about anything. And like, I'm a person who has spent a lot of her life like having fun drug experiences and whatnot, and exploring a lot of the topics and philosophies that are covered in the lore. And so it really made Janny's vision a bit more crystal clear in my head when I read that. And I think it really helped me to further connect with the art that we were all creating.
And did you with Jenny brainstorm about ideas, about traits, about expanding the lore? So are some, maybe not, are there some traits or are there some lore which were coming from you? So ideas which you brought to life in the Mibera collection?
Yeah, so obviously most of the traits that are present in the collection were a collective group effort. Like Draguchi, Baby, Janny, Tez, so many other people on the team all came together to pull ideas, but I did manage to slip a few in there. There is a handheld vape trait that is my vape that I actually have IRL. We won't see that for a decent while, yes, because it'll be revealed. Or right, there's the vending machine. I completely goldfish memory hold that. But yeah, the handheld vape trait there is my vape. And same with the volcano bag. I don't actually have a volcano anymore, but the volcano bag is specifically there because I used that a lot in college, and I wanted to include that. And
so what was the what was the item?
I think it's called handheld vape. Let me see. Like that, we've had so many slight name changes over the past couple years that I could be completely wrong.
Vape pen, vape bag.
It's probably vape pen, actually.
Vape pen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And the volcano, it's what's that?
It may be vape bag. Yeah, it's vape bag.
Oh, vape bag. Yeah.
Mocus, you don't know the volcano?
No, it's I only know the background. I think there's a volcano background. This one, yeah. But which trait is the volcano?
The vape bag is a volcano is a very expensive herb vaporizer that is like a little pyramid that you can put on your table. And then you have like what the Mibera is holding is like a plastic bag that you can attach to the top of the volcano, and it looks quite a bit like a volcano in that it progressively fills the bag with an opaque vapor.
Okay.
And, yeah,
the volcano was the best vaporizer. Okay, let's get this right. That thing,
absolutely.
Sorry, I'm not that into this topic. Yeah. And anything else? So, two or three more questions. Maybe, how would you explain Mibera, the spirit of Mibera, to a normie, to someone who, or maybe the first question: how would you explain it to someone crypto friendly? So, who is already into NFTs, but don't get Mibera? What's Mibera and what makes it outstanding?
Oh gosh. Imagine Milady without the guardrails. Imagine Milady without the need to fit within a box. Mibera allows you to express yourself in all the ways that the Milady community can often tell you not to. And I don't really know what I'd say beyond that, simply because Mibera really is, it contains so much. And I could go on for quite a while about that.
Okay, and how would you explain Mibera to someone who is not into crypto and NFTs? What's it about? So
I actually did this the other day in email because I'm trying to psyop someone, but I just linked them to Honey Road, to the vending machine, and called it a character creator. And I called Mibera an art project that takes inspiration from rave culture, from Silk Road, and a bunch of just general internet culture stuff. Since I feel like if you're explaining it to someone who doesn't know what Milady is, it's better to just dull it down to its most basic elements. And that's probably not the best way, honestly, but it's the way that I have the capacity for.
No, I think that's a pretty good explanation for someone who's not into NFTs in Mibera. So yeah, that's a good one. Um, I had another question, but now I forgot it. Yeah. So, would you consider yourself also spiritual?
Um, it depends. I don't know. I think I am. For instance, I like tarot cards a lot. I use them daily as a way to just have a bit of
Okay,
spiritual
and
mental exercise.
you don't have to think about the answer. It's a
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't know. The word spiritual to me is like a little loaded in that it means a lot for a lot of different people.
Yeah.
Like the type of spirituality I was raised under. I won't get into that, but it is not a type of spirituality that I identify much with anymore.
Oh, now you're making me curious.
Catholic. My parents are
Okay.
hardcore Catholics, so that's all I'll say about that.
Okay. So, but you also into horoscope and I want to touch on the overlays. Jenny already mentioned them, and it's a very good idea. So they will have like their own. As if I understand it correctly, you will be able to have a thorough reading in the future. Yeah, maybe you can touch on that. So what's with the overlays with the sun and the moon, and yeah, what has to do with Mibera?
Well, Ziraguchi can probably go into some of this too because he spent a ton of time making sure that Mibera could get the accurate sun, moon, and rising sign based on their birth date.
Yeah. So the idea is for every Mibera, we're going to have a birthday and a birth location somewhere in the world. And using that information, we had to figure out the accurate sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs for each one. And this was a pretty big task because some of these Miberas are going to have birthdays, I believe, all the way back to like 13,000 BC is kind of the range.
Wow.
So you can't use most, GitHub repos out there to calculate astrology signs back to that date. So I ended up having to actually download a bunch of like JPL sun and moon data that goes back as far as we could get it into that range, and then do the mathematical calculations for every star sign that they have. But yeah, overall, every Mibera is going to have a birthday, a birth location, and then accurate sun, moon, and rising signs for each.
Are they designed randomly? So not only for the overlays, but for the whole Mibera collection, because Jenny said he even didn't see them all at once. So he even doesn't know how will Miberas look like. So how much is it randomized and how much is it prepared to be revealed?
So it's not fully random. There's a chance that it's random, but there's also chances that they're based on the ancestor for each Mibera. Gumi, how much of this has been released? I don't want to say stuff that hasn't hyped up yet.
All of it. It's been released. You just have to inform us now.
Okay. Well, yeah. So basically, each Mibera is also going to have an ancestor, and that's based off of the layers that have been chosen. So we went through, and for a bunch of the layers, not all of them, we tried to relate them to potential ancestors, meaning like just people around the world and through the ages, kind of based off where the layer is from. And then using that, I took coordinates and time periods for each one of these ancestors. And using that, we determine a Mibera's birthday, birth location, and then these astrology signs.
That's pretty cool. So yeah, I already gave a lot of kudos to Jenny, but you deserve also a lot of kudos because this is amazing. It's
Thank you.
visually very nice, and also the all the thought out stuff. So yeah, kudos to you. And thank
Yeah,
you for
thank you.
your work. It's amazing. We have a lot of fun here. Not only me, but also people from the comments. We the first shows. It's now already our fourth one, but we had a pre-reveal show. People are excited and they are amazed too. So yeah, very well done.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really excited for it all to get out and for people to start digging around because, yeah, like you said, there's so much actually in the sort of back end of all of these Miberas that has gone into it to create personality and do things like using whatever sun data to calculate the star signs back to people born in 13,000 BC and locations based off of like accurate ancestors and where those empires were during the birth location of the Mibera and all of these fun things. And then within them, there's a bunch of Easter eggs that I think people are going to find. But there's fun stuff that I've done that if you discover in the future, should give you a laugh, or at least like, wow, it's pretty cool that they did that. But yeah, there's so much more to Miberas than even just the amazing visual art. They are insanely detailed. I would argue that they're one of the most detailed collections or complicated collections to have come out within the past couple of years, for sure.
That's for sure. Yeah. And yeah, we will do this streams to documentate it. So if you want to, you can watch back all the streams, all the reveal phases. At the end on the May 20th will be the last reveal one, and then yeah, we will have like 8 streams. You can all watch them back. So yeah, that's pretty exciting to be part of this whole experience. So thank you. Yeah. Maybe Zerguchi first, and then Gumi second one. What are your favorite traits? So how would your perfect Mibera on the vending machine look like? Which traits are your favorite ones?
I mean, it's kind of hard. It depends what we're going for. I really like a lot of the masks. I like a lot of the jackets too. There's some really cool looking jackets in there. I created one in the vending machine. I actually think it's the first token in the vending machine. It's either token ID 0 or token ID 1. Yeah, let's see. Is it that one?
No.
No, it's token ID 0. It must be.
Can't search it here. No.
Yeah, I wonder why it's not showing you the actual token IDs there. But he has a red ski mask, Joker face, and in the sort of Coke jungle background. You'll find him eventually, but I don't know. It's really hard to choose. There's so many amazing traits in there. I can't really say definitively if I have favorites or a favorite. I've also spent so much time looking at every single one that I've kind of developed an appreciation for them all.
Yeah. I think it's true with every art. The more you look at it, the more you appreciate it, and the more you like it. So that's also like from a marketing point of view, it's amazing because not only you have these phases where you appreciate every trait. I mean, if you look at Milady's, you have also a lot of traits, but you won't go all through of them, and you don't want to look at all of it at once. But if you have a weekly stream, you can touch on the traits one by one and appreciate it more. So I love that we have these reveal phases. And yeah, this vending machine is also very, very cool, because you can put together your Mibera, which maybe even don't exist in the collection. So I don't know how much combination here is possible, but you can have your very own one of one and mint it for 0.42 Bera, which is very cool. Yeah, so Gumi, what are your favorite traits?
That is a hard question. I think my first one would have to be the PS1 controller held item, since I don't feel like I need to explain that one too much. PS1 is amazing and the controller is iconic. And then the Mibera pacifier, because it was one of the first Mibera traits I drew, and it's one of the ones that's seen the most revisions in terms of how it looks overall. I really made that a part of like Gumi's visual identity early on. Like I think I put it on my PFP in like 2023. But the reason why I like it so much is because the Milady community actually started putting it on their Miladies sometime in early 2024. And they didn't know it was like a Mibera thing. They just thought it was a cute Milady thing. And that just always really entertained me. So
I love those little hints and stories. You know, I was in we have in our community from Hungary, and I always talk about Mibera and try to explain it and what we here are talking about. And I was saying like I will definitely hang my Mibera on my wall. And first, people will be like, oh, why it looks it's not a fine art, it's not like a very nice painting. But I think art has to be something which makes you feel somehow, and not only feel somehow, but also you can look at it and you can recall all the stories, all the lores, and all these experiences which you have related to this piece of art, because it is a piece of art. It makes you feel somehow, and I think art is always something personal and something which not the same piece of art will make feel everybody differently. So art is which makes you feel somehow and something. And for me, it's not only about the aesthetics, but also about the experience, about the story, about the lore. And that's why I would hang it on my wall, because if every time I see it, I recall all these little details. For example, you told now about the PlayStation 1 controller, and if we get guests in our house, they will look at it and think like, hey, what's this? But you exactly know, okay, the story, why is a PlayStation 1 controller here, and you can resonate with that. So I think it's genius. And for me, Mibera became something very personal and I'm feeling very attached to it. I don't know if you're aware of that, that a lot of people feel attached to it, and a lot of people will rock it as a PFP and will identify themselves with it. So I don't want to put pressure on you, not at all, but I want to make you aware of that you as an artist contribute to a lot of joy and happiness to a lot of people, and we appreciate that. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I am smiling a ton right now. I'm not quite sure what to say, but I really appreciate how deep of a level you and so many others can appreciate Mibera and the art and all the story and all the work that everyone has put into it. It's definitely the generative collection that I feel most attached to. Like, and I've drawn close to like a lot of generative collections at this point. I don't want to give away an exact number. Just yeah, it's the one that really has stuck with me and probably will for the rest of my life. It's
Yeah.
so, and it's just so fun seeing such a community getting built around it. And I've gotten to meet so many amazing people and have so many fun conversations. And I'm looking forward to seeing who else I can connect with throughout this whole process.
Yeah, that's amazing. And yeah, maybe we can talk a little bit about the one-of-ones. So there were also some confusions about we showed these one-of-ones sneak peek which we had from Jenny, this with the sun, with the moon, with this crowd, but these are different one-of-ones. These are, I think there are only 42 of them. And these are, I think Jenny called them Genesis ones. They had a different name. And there are also one-of-ones which look very, very similar, but they have maybe one item which is only once in the collection, and because of that, it makes the Mibera one-of-one.
Mm-hmm.
So can you maybe touch on that?
Yeah.
What's the difference? And
so the ones that you can start to see hints of in the collection as it's revealed, they are things like 1/1 items or 1/1 masks. And while the presence of that 1/1 trait will like technically make that Mibera a 1/1, I guess, the fact that it is simply just like that one item having that one spawn of it makes it like the item trait itself a 1/1. Whereas the 1/1s that I'm working on right now are just like an entire Mibera redrawn. There's no like rules or anything for like scoring or whatever. It's just a standalone art piece.
So like a collection in a collection.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Do you want to share some other, maybe not visually sneak peeks, but like theme oriented? Like we
Sure.
saw that the sun with the moon. What else are there?
Yeah, so I don't know how much detail I should really go into, but hopefully Danny won't mind too much. So you've seen the sun and the moon. Those are the luminaries, but we also have 1/1s for each of the zodiac members. Have 1/1s for every astrological planet. We got ones for past and future, and we'll also have 1/1s for a lot of the ancestors. And there have been more added since Janny last gave you the quantity. So there will be more than 42. I will not say how many. But
okay.
yeah.
No, you don't have to share too much. That will be very excited. So basically everyone has the chance until the May the 20th, when the last reveal will happen. Everyone will have the chance to get a one-of-one, except I remember there were some backgrounds which were rare. These are excluded from the possibility to get one-of-ones.
Yeah, Zerguchi, I can't really remember the exact specs for that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so the backgrounds that have 2 layers to them, front layer and a back layer, which you can kind of already see right now in the collection as the backgrounds have been revealed. We don't want to replace those with the one-of-ones. So those will not be these new one-of-ones. And then also there are the one-of-one items, which have not been revealed yet, but those will not be replaced either. And then we have some one-of-one masks that also won't be replaced. And the idea is we just don't want them leaving the collection because they're unique already. And getting rid of them.
So,
Yeah.
so these are these one-of-ones which are not part of this collection in the collection, but these are one of a kind in the collection.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, nice. Very excited. So maybe we can touch on the hats, because this week the hats will revealed. So which ones are rare? What is happening? I'm looking at Magic Eden. I know these are the shadow ones. Yeah.
I remember
Maybe
nothing
like
about that rarity. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that.
so. Yeah, maybe look at the activity. Yeah, those. What 150? That's without a hat. I don't really see hunting for. Oh, now it's frozen. Yeah. So maybe Dan, Eileen, Anya, what do you think? What do you have to say? Oh, I see Baby Bear is also here. Hello. What do you think so far?
With the reveal?
Reveal and Zerguchi and Gumi.
I know Gumi more, but I thought that it's very interesting how Zerguchi went from founding Kingdomly to becoming an astrologist.
What? He's the founder of Kingdomly.
Yeah. Me and Ethan built that together when I was in college.
I didn't know that.
Initial dev and built all the underlying infrastructure at the time with him, and then we built it up for a while, and I ended up moving to THJ and have been working full time there, and then I became an astrologist for Mibera. Done positioning for these NFTs.
Nice. So you're seriously into astrology?
Personally, not as much. I've never really been one to look too deep into it, but I kind of got an appreciation for it when I was doing this collection. Definitely learned quite a bit about it, figuring out how to calculate the sun sign and moon signs and rising signs based off location and stuff, and spent a long time figuring out where to get the right data for it. So yeah, I ended up, like I said, gaining an appreciation, but in my personal life, I haven't really looked at it that much.
Yeah, that's cool. So here I have with a bear hat, but I don't know. Magic Eden is freezing for me. Maybe we can look at OpenSea. Mibera. Yeah, it's better. So yeah, if someone in the audience want to share the revealed one, I will show it on stream. Maybe you have also some questions. You can ask them here.
Yeah.
So.
Dex asks if the question mark next to the traits have a relationship with the rarity of that trait. So it's been sort of like some people have been putting together, CIA files for these traits. And they've been, I think like the consensus right now on this guessing mechanism is that the amount of question marks is directly correlated with the actual letters of the trait. So then people would go to the vending machine, look at how many letters something is, and then go back to Magic Eden or OpenSea and like calculate how many question marks there are and sort of mapping that. I don't know if that's like true or not because there's also a space bar.
Yeah, that's accurate. That is how we did it. I believe spaces are included as well.
That's on purpose.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, so maybe I need to go hunting. Yeah, any other questions? Someone says, I definitely need to get a PS1 controller Mibera after reveal. So now now we pumped the trait PS1. Gumi gave it another lore. Nice. Yeah. So I have also these cat ears. I'm showing some from the community. Yeah.
Do we know when the Miberas from the gallery? I think it's the like the 2.2. Some of them don't load.
Is it the so like for the fractured versions, like minting the previous reveal stages?
Yeah, so like my previous reveals, like I wasn't able to like go back to the that one like everyone else was doing. Is that something that's like, is that like a Cloudflare issue or something, or?
Yeah, I think it must be. So you're the current holder of the Mibera that you want to go back to?
Yeah, like a lot of them on like there'll be like broken link images almost.
Huh. Yeah, I'll look into the Cloudflare. We're using the same URIs that were used for each reveal stage. So I don't know if it's potentially just our website not caching the images, but since all the images worked correctly for the reveal stages, they should be there. But I'll talk to the website dev and we'll fix that today.
Let's go.
Is it showing? It is showing you like the token ID though on the website?
Yeah, it shows the token ID, but it won't load the images or anything like that for not all of them, but a good amount of them.
Interesting. Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. I'll fix that today.
So yeah. Any other questions?
Hello everyone, fuck I'm late. Mibera is very cheap. Okay, I guess that's not a question. I think the hat so I don't know what Den Hofium is, but to me that looks like Luigi hat, and I think that's my favorite one right now.
Yeah, Den is a wonderful account on Twitter who's made many lovely Mibera memes, and his PFP always has the Luigi hat, so we had to throw that in.
Oh, okay. I actually have like a Luigi hat IRL in a cushion form, and I really like Luigi's hat, but like Luigi not so much.
Yeah, they're very individual. So we have 126 hats, different hats. Nice. Do we have some one of a kinds? Half of them don't have a hat. Okay, interesting.
Oh, how does that get calculated? Like, if you have a hat, it adds to your score, I would say. But then, if you don't have a hat,
a hat's a plus.
Yeah, it's a plus. So it just is a 0. And if you don't have one of the like an item, for example, it just uses a 1 in the multiplication.
I see.
Yeah.
And yeah, as you can kind of see right there with those 1 of 1 hats, we aren't revealing those until the end, I believe.
Yeah, those are really special, so gotta wait a bit longer.
They have an offer. Okay. Yeah, nice. So next, it's already in 2 days. So we have next Thursday, we will have revealed the face accessories, the the mouth, earrings, eyebrows. No, eyebrows still relaxed. I think it's the same.
I think I need to update that doc. My bad.
Yeah. And eyes closed.
Yeah,
No, they're still
eyes will
closed.
be open
Eyes.
for the next reveal. Yeah.
So phase 5, eyes will be revealed. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That way you can
Okay.
have at least one phase where the eyes are unobstructed if your Mibera has glasses.
Yeah. One of my favorite ones are the eyes. So I'm excited for that. Magic Eden is not loading for me. Can't show you mine. But yeah. Okay. So any other questions? As we could wrap it up here, and we will continue on Thursday at the same time. I think Zerguchi and Gumi will join us again. Am I right? On Thursday?
I'm not going to be able to. My girlfriend's having
Okay.
surgery on Thursday, so I won't have as much time to be around on stream. But the reveal
Wish you the best.
Yeah, it's all good. She's okay. But yeah, I won't be able to be on stream, but the reveal will still be happening. Of course, I do everything the day before.
Okay. So Gumi, it's up to you. We would love to have you, but if you don't want to or have something else, it's perfectly fine.
No, I'd love to be here. I will definitely be here on Thursday.
Okay, nice. Happy to hear that. So, okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Gumi. Thank you, Zerguchi. It was very refreshing to have you here, and had a lot of questions. So thank you for taking the time. Thank you also in the audience, and we will see you on Thursday for the next reveal. Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
thank you for having us.
Bye.
Gumi.
Bye.
Gumi, milady on Berachain.
Gumi.